Let's take you to Thailand now. Hundreds of anti-government protesters are out on the streets of Bangkok, openly defying a government ban on public gatherings. Now, they're calling for the Prime Minister's resignation and reforms to the monarchy. The government imposed its emergency measures in the early morning hours in a bid to stop months of demonstrations. The political movement in Thailand has mostly been led by young people and rights groups who say dozens have been arrested. Let's cross live now to Scott Heidler. He's in Bangkok and at those demonstrations. Scott's protests are supposed to be banned. So why are so many people out on the streets at this point?
Exactly. It wasn't just hours ago that emergency decree went through saying that any gathering more than 5 people is illegal. And if you look behind me over my shoulder, you see that this is many more than 5 people. We're estimating probably over 1,000 people have gathered here in Raja Prasong area, which is a high-end shopping district right here in central Bangkok. Now, word went out kind of early morning that this was going to take place by some of the remaining protest organizers. I'm saying remaining because at least 6 high-level protest organizers were arrested early in the morning after that order went out, after we saw that large protest, thousands and thousands of anti-government protesters taking to the streets, going from Democracy Monument right in front of Government House. They were cleared out in the early morning hours after that emergency decree was issued, but people still coming out this afternoon, this evening, early evening here in central Bangkok in this shopping district, flouting this order. There are police kind of in a cordon behind us initially, but then slowly but surely these protesters pushed their way into this intersection, and now they occupy, again, I would say probably a little bit more than 1,000 people here now, Hala.
And Scott, what's likely to happen next? I mean, are the police poised to move in? Are there rival demonstrations being set up? Is there likely to be quite significant unrest on the streets of the Thai capital?
No, there's really no indication that this is going to turn violent anytime soon. You know, there was a stronger posture that the police had initially trying to prevent the protest from growing as it has, but then they kind of took a softer posture. They moved down the street a little bit, so they weren't really front to front, face to face with the majority of the protesters here. There's no counter-protest plan. We haven't seen anyone from the other side, if you will. And even at that, when there have been, like we saw on Wednesday, those who support the monarchy and the government, those who are against, or those who are protesting, I should say, were face to face. It was all fairly civil. We had a couple of skirmishes back and forth, but nothing major so far with these several months, starting in July, several months of protests growing bigger and bigger and bigger, more frequent as we are seeing now. Most of it has remained peaceful. That's one thing to underline, and that's one thing that the protest leaders have been emphasizing, that they want it to stay peaceful. Right now, yes, you do see a lot of people here. They're now kind of sitting down. It's becoming more, appears to be an occupation, if you will. But again, right now, just kind of speeches going on, some chants going on. But so far, other than that, that's really what we're looking at.
OK, Scott Heidler there bringing us the latest from a rather noisy Bangkok. Thank you very much indeed.